Hi everyone, I'm Lloyd and I want to make a video just to share with you. Perhaps you may have a problem like I had. What I have here is a coil pack and two injectors for a Mercedes-Benz A-Class, which I'm a proud owner, and it had to give me a lot of headache because it developed a fault which was a little bit hard to sort out. That's why I'm making this video, so that whoever will have this problem, they may not face what I've gone through. Okay, it took me a lot of time to really discover what the problem was. As you can see here, it's a coil pack for Mercedes-Benz A-Class with a part number right here. It's a one in all thing. It's not a separate coil pack. It's one, meaning if one goes, if for instance this coil pack fails, you're gonna have to replace everything. Unlike other cars and other Mercedes which have separate coil packs, if one packs, you can even replace one. But in my case, it was so different. I had to buy the whole new thing. Okay, when instead, in fact, it wasn't even supposed to be bought. So the history to the problem I'm trying to help out is that I woke up one morning trying to drive my car. Of course, it was raining the previous day. So I went and started my car. It had a hard start and the engine was vibrating very hard as I was starting the car. It could at times, you start it, then it switches off because the engine vibration is too much and I didn't know what was happening. So I took it to this mechanic who diagnosed it and gave me some error codes, of which I've really forgotten what the codes were. However, he told me the car was experiencing random misfire. All right. So now the thing is, my car would start very well when it's warm, like 12 p.m. it will move very well. Whenever it gets cold and it gets rainy, then the car will start stalling, and whenever I'm climbing uphill, the car will start stalling. Every moment I start my car, the car will always be stalling a bit. No acceleration. I put the pedal down, nothing. I press the gas pedal, even the revs are not moving. The rev counter won't go beyond 2. It's just that. All right. So if you are experiencing any of such things I've talked about, then it could be you are facing the same problem that I'm facing, especially if it's on an A-Class vehicle. I'm not talking about any other vehicle, but I'm talking about A-Class, A160 in particular, Mercedes Elegance, all right? So what I have is that after this mechanic had diagnosed that the car had random misfire, he told me it could be bad spark plugs, or the fuel system is bad, or perhaps the injectors or the coil pack itself. So I decided for starters to check the spark plugs. I removed the spark plugs, checked them, and when he removed them, you could see that on these three, 1, 2, and 3 coil pack, the spark plugs looked like they were firing. Okay, you could see some burning on the tip of the spark plug. But on this particular spark plug, it was as clean as it was installed, as it was bought and installed, all right? It didn't look to be working, okay? So instead, he had to assume that it's a coil pack which had gone. It wasn't giving power or energy to the spark plug or voltage to make it produce a spark, so as to move the cylinder number 4. This is cylinder number 4. This is 3. This is 2, and that is 1. All right. So he asked me to buy another replacement part for the coil pack, which I did, and unfortunately, the problem didn't go away. All right. So what I had to do is, you asked me this was a problem, and now I've bought a new one, I've fitted a new one, and it's still not working. What's the matter with you? So I said, okay, all right. There are 3 other things that you can try on this car. Okay. maybe it could be the injectors, maybe it could be the compression. So he went inside his workshop and got a compression tester, which I don't have, I could have shown. Tried to test the compression of the cylinders. He found that the compression was alright. He told me, no, the compression is fine. So my brother, what we're going to do now, we're going to have to check the fuel system, in particular the injectors. So we had to dismantle the engine just to get to the injector core, right? We removed, in fact, even the manifold. We had to remove the manifold, okay, to safely remove the rail where these injectors are positioned, okay? And then we had to remove the rail, and when we removed the rail, we started removing these injectors. As you can see, this is an injector. This is how it looks like, an injector for Mercedes class. I'm trying to see the part number. I can't really see it, but it's below here, okay? So I didn't think injectors could cause such a big problem, but in fact it was injectors that caused that problem, okay? These same two injectors I have, they all failed, okay? So what happened is that we removed injectors and started testing them, because what happens at the injector, if the injector is working all right, it opens up and out in a certain sequence, which I don't know. It's well known by the mechanical. So me, I'm just trying to share. So what you see here, these pins, these are the connectors, okay, to the cable that connects the injectors. So the simple test you can do with this injector or any other injector is to apply 12 volts to these terminals. You're gonna have a 12 volts battery, fully charged, reading 12 volts when you read with the multimeter. Then get the negative terminal of the battery, connect it to one side here or there, because it actually shows which one is the positive side. It's more marked somewhere here, positive. So you're gonna put a negative to the negative, and the positive, you're gonna touch it, the other one which you've not connected. Just make sure you make a permanent connection with the negative terminal. Then the positive, you just touch the terminal, and if it clicks, that means your injector is working. But if it goes quiet, nothing, no clicking sound from the injector, then just know that your injector is bad. That's a simple test. It could be better test, which I don't know. You can share with me as well. All right. We also got this one. We did the same test with a battery, simple. We tried to touch negative there, tried to touch positive there, nothing, no clicking, okay? And these injectors, one was on coil pack. It was working in collaboration with coil pack number 1, which is for cylinder 1, the other one for cylinder 4, all right? And now we had to test for cylinder number 2 and cylinder number 3, and we realized this coil, once we gave them energy in terms of 12 volts here, they would go clicking with a clicking sound, clicking sound. Then he told me, my friend, your 2 injectors are gone, and you're gonna have to buy the replacement, okay? Told him, my friend, be sure of what you're talking about. I'm spending a lot of money here because you asked me to buy a new thing, it worked. Now you are saying it's injectors. I was really furious with him. So he said, no, try the injectors, go get the injectors, all right? It took me 2 days to get the injectors. So when I brought the injectors with my vehicle dismantled, we put back the injectors in the rail and in the car. We tied everything, including the manifold. We tied everything. Then he told me, try your car, my friend. I did try a car. Told me, how is it sounding? And I could hear my car really started sounding very well, and I could feel the power with the car. And he told me, go on the road and come back, tell me what you discover. So I decided to go on the road. When I went on the road, I decided, okay, let me go uphill where I'll know really that this thing is working. I went uphill. It was a simple job. The car was really performing perfectly. No stirring, no hesitation, and just all because we had fixed these. So these, really don't overlook them. They can be a serious pain in the neck if you ignore them and decide to replace bigger parts. Because what I have now is that this will just be a spare part. The new coil pack I bought, I've already put it on a car. I'll keep this one in case it goes. It's very expensive. It cost me about $300. All right, so you don't have to waste $300. Meanwhile, your item is not bad. So I would urge, if you experience the same symptoms I was experiencing, car stalling when you're going uphill, car stalling when you're just starting it can't move very fast. Rev counter, you press your gas pedal, rev counter won't go beyond 2. And when it gets cold, you have problem with your car, no pulling power. But when it's warm, your car is pulling very well. And when you check the exhaust, when you have such a problem, when you check the exhaust, you hear a sound, all right? So just know you have this problem. Immediately fixed, and I heard the sound gone. Then I realized my car was back to life, all right? If you like this video, please share it with your friends. And remember to subscribe to my channel. I'm not an expert, but this information, I'm pretty sure it's gonna help someone out there, all right? And if you like, you can subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button if you like the video and the information you've received. And remember, I'm not an expert. So when you use this information, you're using it at your own risk. You're not gonna claim any damages on me, all right? Thank you, bye-bye. And I'm gonna show you in the next video how you actually test the injectors with a 12 volts battery, just to make sure you can test on your own. You don't have to hire the mechanic. If you know how to remove the injectors from where they are pressed, that is in the rail, okay? Otherwise, if you are not competent, don't try to do this on your own, otherwise you spoil your car. I'll also show you how you can quickly check that your ignition core, each core is working, all right? You're gonna have to plug just spark plugs, blah blah. Just watch out for my next video. I'm gonna show you and you're gonna like it, all right? Bye bye for now.